We're going to jump right over Convert Selected and jump into Select All. Clicking this is going to select all of the points on your hair object. Deselect All does the exact opposite. If I make a live selection and then choose Invert, it's going to invert that selection. Now let's say I select just one guide and I want to grow the selection out from that guide. I can select the Grow Selection tool, and then I can specify a number of neighbors. So this is how many hairs or how many guides it's going to search out for. And then the distance is going to specify how far from the original selected guide. So if I click on Apply, you'll see that I don't really get any results. But since the tool is still live, I can go into the distance and start to increase that. And as the distance increases, it's going to select more and more guides from the center of the selection there, so it grows outwards. I'm just going to go back into the live selection and we'll clear that. Now if I go to the pelt, you'll see that I have a set of polygons selected. If I go back to my hair object and then choose Convert Selected, it's going to select all of the guides that are adjacent, or sometimes, depending on the distribution of your hair guides, the guides that are on the polygons that are selected. This Convert selection also works with points, so if I go into my pelt, select the point mode, select some points on the pelt, then go back into the hair object, and choose Convert Selected, you'll see that it selects only the guides that are on the points that I had selected when in the pelt object. Next, you have some options here for dealing with the visibility of guides. So this isn't actually going to delete the guides, it's just going to take them out of the equation when you're trying to get things styled. So with some guides selected, I can click on Hide, and this is going to hide those guides from the viewport. The other option is Show All. So if I click on this, it's going to bring any of my hidden guides back so that I can see them. Finally, we have some options for controlling whether a guide can be edited or not. So if I make a selection using any of my selection tools here, I have the option of locking those selected guides. Once guides are locked, they can no longer be selected or edited. The other option that I have here is an option to hide locked that now becomes available once I finally have locked guides. This will simply hide any of the guides that are locked in my scene. Clicking Show All will bring those back, but they will remain locked. I do have the option of Unlocking All, which will remove all locks from the guides. The other option here is to lock the selected, and then in the Live Selection tool or any of the selection tools, choose Select Locked. At that point, you can select your locked guides and unlock just those specific guides. Just like with any point object or polygon object in Cinema 4D, you can also set a selection for your guides. Let's go to the Points mode, and I'm going to create a selection. Based off this selection, I can now set a selection for these points. Once the selection is set, I can now select my selection tag here, and I have some options for controlling this. I can hide these selected points, I can show the selected points, I can lock the selected points, unlock them, I can deselect them, select them, I can restore a selection, or I can set a selection. So if I was to say, change my selection like this so I have two sets of guides and points selected, I can click on Restore, and that switches it back to the original. And if I click on Set, it's going to add those new points there. So if I select just these ones and click Restore, you'll see that I now get the other guide points added in as well. That wraps up taking a look at the Hair Mode menu and the Hair Selection menu. The next one that we're going to take a look at is the Hair Edit menu.